Rightio then folks, how are we all doing today? My name's Luke, as always. I'm from Radford Creations and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, our Valentine's Day special, we're going to be making a copper rose. Now you've all seen me make roses before. I've made like single stand roses like this. We made our summoning lamp with the two roses coming out the side like this. And I've even done full coffee displays with rose displays coming from underneath like this. So I've never actually made a copper rose before. We have a sheet of copper which is going to be our petals. We have an old coil spring from a burnt out car which is going to be our stem. And we're going to see what we can come up with, guys. Don't forget to give thanks to the steel and copper gods by hitting the red subscribe button below. Let's get going. Right folks, first things first, we need to get these petal templates cut out. So these I got just off the internet. I'll put a link in the description below if I can. Literally just printed them out and then just stuck them to a bit of cardboard so I could keep reusing them. They're all numbered. I don't think we're going to need all these today, because this is a 6 petal one. So we need the base one, we need the biggest one, 2, 3. I think that should do, as long as we can make them fit. So as I've shown you before, guys, just with a Sharpie, just going around. Now these are petals, so they don't need to be super accurate. Don't know why that word was difficult to say then. Nature isn't perfect, so we don't need to be either. So literally just very quickly going round. There's that petal. Try and get them as close as possible, guys, just so we're not wasting material, but don't get it so close it's going to make it difficult to cut out. So yeah, you get the picture. I'll check back when we're starting to cut these out. Right guys, so we're just going to be using the angle grinder with a cutting disc to cut these out. There are much better tools for this job, however I don't have them. So yeah, just simple as using the angle grinder. Let's cut round the things. This is going to take a while. I'll give you a quick show of what I'm doing and then we'll go from there. Right, so we've cut them out, as you can see. But you can see, like, because the angle grinder cuts in straight edges, they're all straight and corners and pointy bits. We want to get rid of this, so we're going to use the belt sander. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. But you feel that already. Doesn't need to be perfect, but there's no straight edges in nature, so we need to get rid of all the points, all the straight edges. Okay, there you go then. It's all straight, all nice smooth corners now. Just get rid of these burrs on the back from the cutting, and we're done. Okay, folks, so base is all forged, so kept the sort of coil spring, and then we brought it up into the stem. Okay, so look, oh, also on the bottom I've ground this flat just on the belt sander, just because it wasn't sitting quite right, but now I've just ground that little, you know, flatten that bit off. She's sitting very stable. So next thing I need to do is weld this bolt on. So normally, like I said at the start of the video, I would taper the stem and then fit the petals over it, and then weld on after that. But obviously we can't weld copper to steel, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this steel bolt onto the end here, and then we fit the petals up over that. I've already drilled the holes to make sure it's big enough to go over, and then we put the bolt on, the nut on, sorry, and then we tighten it up, and then should hold. And if this works out, it might be easier to do it this way rather than welding, because when you're bending all the rose petals up at the end, you can snap your weld sometimes. But let's get this all welded together, guys. Okay then, folks, onto the thing that I hate most in this world, and that is texturing rose petals. So same as the one we've done before with the summoning lamp and the roses on that. But for those who didn't watch that, quick oversight. So basically what we're going to do is we've got a bit of wood here. This is because the wood gives, if we did it on the anvil's designed to reverberate back up, and it will just make it flat on the one side, whereas we want the wood to give just a little bit. And so when we strike, the indentations come out on the other side. So we've got a cross peen hammer, so you can use different types, but we basically want it lengthways, so you're striking down here, and you can see the difference there. So you can see the texture that's put on the outside, and you can see how it looks when it's flat. So I've got to do this to every single petal. I'm not going to make you watch that, so I'll check back here when I'm done. Right, folks, so we've got our bolt all welded on nice and secure. So what we want to do is we want to start with this little star shaped one, and we put this on upside down to the other ones. So the bit you've been hitting, there, the bit you've been hitting needs to be faced down, so that goes on all the way to the bottom, and then we just put them on so the bit you've been hitting to texture is facing up, and then you just start all the way down and start from the biggest one, work your way down to the smallest one. Okay, that's all of them on. They're not very pushed together, but we've got a little knot here. I'm hoping as we do this up, it's going to pull them all together. I genuinely think that this is just easier to do than welding, and I might do this with the steel ones from now on. It might be easier because the copper's obviously not as difficult to work with as steel, so maybe it's bending easier, maybe it would be a nightmare with steel, I don't know. But normally I'm breaking all kinds of welds and stuff, and this just seems to have gone on, holding them all really tight. Normally, like if you break up, like you weld them as you go down, and you bend them and then you break the weld, and you've got one that rattles in the middle, and it's just a nightmare. But this has worked very well. Let's try and get this as tight as I can. Ow. Okay. I think I'm gonna use the angle grinder just to cut this this excess off. Right, so yeah, just cut that end bit off. It's fine. Everything's still solid. So normally I would use heat now to, come on, sticking up. I'd use heat now to heat these up and then slowly bend them in. But because the copper's so soft, I think I'm going to try without the heat. I also don't want the heat to distort the colour of it and stuff, because obviously we want the sort of copper. So you just start from the inside one, and basically we're just folding all of these inwards, and I think I was right. This is not too difficult at all. Let's pull this one in. A bit sticking out, and I'm using the other side. Oh, this is so much easier than steel. Might just make copper roses from now on. If we can, I want to try and close this. There we go. So it hides the knot in the middle. It's just so much easier. Give me bare hands. So these on the bottom, we're going to bend them down away from the rest of it and just curl the ends up. And the last thing we need to do is just take some of these outside ones, start turning them out. Why have I not made copper roses before? How much easier is this? Right then folks, that's us done for the day. One copper rose made from an old coil spring and just a sheet of copper. I think it's turned out really nice. It's actually a little bit easier than making a steel rose. Steel rose, you've got to heat up the petals to bend them. We didn't need to because the copper's so soft. And I think they look better than the steel roses. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, guys. So that concludes our Valentine's Day special. This copper rose will be up for sale shortly if anyone is interested. And yeah, next week we have a how to start blacksmithing video. And please, please, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe on this video. I'll see you next time, guys.